That's off. Let's put it.
The Lord be with you. We've been waiting for this day, and we're so sorry Sandy can't be with us in person, but here she is on iPad, and she has been such a faithful leader of this team that we are glad that she can be here in whatever way she can be here. But let's open with prayer. Gracious God, you entrust us to use the gifts that we have been given in order to honor you. I give thanks for the Dream Team and for their work in discerning what you are calling us to do with the gifts you have given us and with the generosity of this congregation. As we go through our meeting, send your Spirit upon us. Help us to hear and discern what you're calling us to do as a congregation. We pray all these things through your Son. Amen.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm Sue Gaumont. I'm not Mark Engel. And I'm filling in for him this morning. He could not be with us. So thank you all. What a great turnout for a congregational meeting, but the Dream Team has been such a hardworking and wonderful, and you're all anxious to get this moving forward. So we definitely, I hope you signed in, but we have a quorum, so we're good. Just as a quick review, I know an email went out with information, but at the end of 2022, we had, due to the generosity of all of you, some grants, some bequests, we had a financial overage of approximately $70,000, and that was over and above retained earnings. And the council unanimously approved establishing a committee to consider various ways to use this fund. And so within the community, and that resulted in the formation of the Dream Team in early 2022. A request went out for volunteers, and those who served, Sandy, who's on the screen, Karen Bentley, who will be helping to present this morning, Amy Bruno, I won't make, okay, there she is, Cheryl Jones, who's here, Bill Kell, who's here, Jeff Probstfield, and Paul Grinovich was an ad hoc member. Other members who served and donated time to the team were Cynthia Shaheen, who we moved away, but also as well as Lauren Shaw and Mary Chavez. So it was a large team that devoted a lot of time, effort, consideration, studied a lot of different possibilities, and we have this incredible plan to share with you today. So thanks again for all the time and hard work that resulted in today's proposal. I'll turn it over now to Karen Bentley and Sandy Lean to present, and then we will have time for questions, but then go for a motion and a second and a vote. So thank you.
Thank you, everyone. I just want to say good morning, and I echo Sue's appreciation and thanks. Everyone, let's make sure that you do have the proposal. You should have received the proposal along with 2 sample reports, and hopefully everyone has had the opportunity to review it. Before we discuss the proposal, I want to acknowledge how blessed I am to be a part of this Dream Team. The committee itself, we called ourselves the task force, taking forward the dreams that we heard from each and every one of you who took some time to submit your ideas for us to review. We want to make sure that you had an
you, Sandy. Good morning to all of you. Those of you who don't know me, my name is Karen Bentley. We've been attending Holy Trinity here for about a year now, and I was very pleased to be invited to be a member of this committee and have the opportunity to help serve the community. And the plan that we have come up with, the proposal with Ascend, is phenomenal. We have basically created a pathway for participants who are already in the iHelp program to transition into stable and secure housing, which is a pretty amazing process. The biggest obstacle that these people run into is how do they get from one step to the next? How do they get into that initial apartment? How do they find that first place? So this program is going to allow them the possibility to do that. We have two programs, Hope and Opportunity. You can move the next slide. The first part of the program is the Hope program. This is the component that will allow participants of iHelp to gain the majority of the funds they can use to get into that secure housing. They have three opportunities to do this. First of all, if the client or the participant in iHelp completes 60% of a 90-day program, they will be entitled to receive $500. They can use those funds toward a security deposit. They can use them toward sheets and towels and mattresses and all those things that you need to first get settled into a new place. The second component of the program is an educational piece, which we thought was very important to create sustainability of this program. We want to not only make sure that these participants get into a new home, but that they understand how to sustain that. How can they keep their housing from here on forward and not find themselves into the same position? With this component, Ascend will be providing educational modules. They will focus on financial literacy as well as life skills and even sober living skills if they need any substance abuse or services that way, any wraparound services. The participants will be required to complete 3 of those 5 modules. If they do that, they will receive an additional $500 toward their initial costs. The last component is basically an incentive for these participants to complete it. If they graduate from the 90-day program, they'll receive a third installment of $500 that they can use toward those move-in funds. So they'll have $1,500 if they complete all 3 of these segments that will provide them enough funds to get into housing. So it's a great opportunity for them to get started. Opportunity is our sustainability piece. What this is a separate program. The participants can do one or the other. They can do them both. Opportunity is a program designed with Ascend to provide employment skills and employment opportunities. So this element is going to allow the participants to receive a weekly stipend for hours that they work with Ascend. Ascend will give them training to become a driver, to take their participants in different places through the valley, and they'll be rewarded for that. So our funds will be used to basically provide the stipend and the training to those participants in the Opportunity program. So Ascend has also agreed to provide us with evaluations as this goes along. It's a pilot program, right? We want to see how it works and make sure that it's successful. We're going to be receiving quarterly reports to see how the participants are doing, as well as an annual review that we can look at as a congregation and decide if we want to continue with this moving forward or what tweaks need to be made, which was a really important part of it. So the benefits, what are the best parts of the Hope and Opportunity program? First and foremost, we're giving people who are the most vulnerable among us a safe place to stay, right? They're gonna have security. And that's probably the most important facet of what we're doing. It always comes with ties, right? That's why they gotta bring in a lawyer. The most important part here from the legal perspective is this is not a contract. We are essentially giving a donation to the Ascend program, and they are implementing this program based on our terms. We are not contractually obligated. What that means is it limits our liability, right? And it also minimizes the cost to administer the program, which is huge. If we were to do this on our own, which is something we did discuss through the DREAM team, it would be cost prohibitive, It would be so expensive to run it, and Ascend has agreed to do it for a very minimal cost. So that's a huge piece for us. We want this to be successful, right? Our goal is for this to take off and for other congregations to see how successful our iHelp participants are becoming through this Hope and Opportunity. We can build partnerships with those congregations. We can create buy-in with community stakeholders. And through that, they can create their own Hope and Opportunity programs or contribute to this one with Ascend and reach a significantly higher number of people. It will also create sustainability, right? We have the funds to basically provide this program for 2 years. If we can create that community buy-in, then we can sustain this for perpetuity, and that's the goal, to help as many people as we possibly can. The program components also create sustainability for the individuals. We're not just handing them $1,500 and saying, hey, go get an apartment. What we're saying is you have to meet these educational responsibilities, you have to understand your commitment, and hopefully develop enough of the skill set that they can continue to make their rent moving forward and not find themselves in the same situation. That's a huge part of what we're doing. The program is meeting a need in our local community, which is something that was really important to the congregation as well as to the Dream Team. We wanted to make sure that the people who were already involved with iHelp have the ability to take those next steps and move into the secure, stable housing. When we considered all the different programs, the ties that we currently have with Ascend were significant. We want to deepen those and create an impact that we can move forward and support this program in the community and beyond for quite some time. Sandy, you want to go into the next piece? Are you doing the last?
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. I was just saying it's your turn.
Thank you. It is an intentional platform for Holy Trinity and others to share God's love by actively engaging and impact lives in a tangible way that gives a realistic fighting chance to those supported in the Ascend iHelp program. It provides a pathway, it bridges a gap, it empowers individuals, it is sustainable via advocacy. It builds upon a program that Holy Trinity already supports, and Ascend is keeping us informed to monitor the success. The Congregational Council has unanimously endorsed this pilot program as it aligns with the spirit heart of youth, the congregation, and it creates the pathway for individuals participating in the program to learn, to grow, and to develop, to expand their personal contributions locally, and advances the client's ability for a sustainable lifestyle that further contributes to the community at large. So we ask for your endorsement and your favorable vote so that Holy Trinity may make a gift to fund the Hope and Opportunity Pilot Program from our generous surplus. Thank you.
Okay, questions? Yes, June.
I was just curious why only 10% have completed all training. Is it because it's still new?
Oh, it's a sample. So,
Technically, the program hasn't started yet. We had to go through the process of determining what program we wanted to use, how we wanted to implement it. We've worked directly with Ascend to create this proposal. Once we get the congregation's vote today, hopefully we will be approved, and then we'll start moving forward with implementation. All the pieces are ready to go.
So, for anybody else, the reporting there, if you look, it's actually future numbers. They did that for us so that we would have a chance to actually see what the dashboard of the reporting would look
Correct.
like, so that, you know, we could feel comfortable that, yeah, that's the kind of reporting we'd like to see, so we're just showing you that.
the dates show 2024.
Yeah, it was
I looked at that.
It was important for us to have those benchmarks so that we could analyze the success of the program, right? This is a significant amount of money that we're investing, and because it's a donation, and because we do minimize our liability, we also don't have say as it moves forward. What this evaluation does is gives us a way to monitor progress, and at the end of the year, we can take those quarterly reports, we can take that annual review, and determine whether or not we think the program is successful, or how we need to tweak it to make it more successful. So that's where those dashboard reports will come in.
Or maybe not do the second year.
Perhaps, yes.
So we don't know how many clients are going to be involved in this program yet.
Not yet. It will be determined on how many participants in iHelp and then how we facilitate it moving forward, but I believe there were 38. Is that the correct number, Sandy? The potential for, I believe, up to 38 clients. It's right.
It says 19, if it were maxed out, we would be able to provide 19 clients with, that's if each one of them completed all three parts of the modules, and they would go on to make, or to be able to receive $1,500 towards their moving expenses when they get placed. So I think the number is 19.
And then we also have the opportunity participants and then the capacity to do the 2 years.
Right, so,
Correct.
Yes, sir.
Who finds the 19 clients? Is that Ascend?
Ascend will be doing it. And that was one of the things that we had to really work on tweaking, because the administrative costs would have eaten up the majority of our funds. If
This
we,
all sounds real good. You say it's a pilot.
it is.
The question is, what happens if by June it falls on its face? We still giving them $70,000?
So that's where those quarterly reports will come in. If things aren't working, then we can go ahead and work with Ascend to try and monitor the success and tweak the program where we need to. The beauty of it is that Ascend already has the basis in place. They have a foundation. They can hit the ground running. They do programs like this that are not exactly the same, but all across the board. So they have a lot of the tools already in place to make this successful, but we will have the ability to adjust as necessary.
One word
Can I
that
just
I heard
add to
that I
what
like.
Oh, I'm sorry, Steve. What I was gonna say is I just wanted to add to what Karen said, that, so what we're doing is, it's not completely pilot, let's put it that way. What we're doing is, we're helping them to build onto the program that they already have and provide a way to extend, like, the services that they're able to offer now, because they don't have resources to help these people with their move-in costs. And one of the things that we discovered is that the biggest thing, not just in this area, but all over, is that people have a hard time saving enough money for their security deposits and other moving costs, which are typically 1.5 to 2 times your rent. So that's where they were lacking, being able to help their people that graduate out of their programs, to help them to be able to accumulate that much money, to be able to then, after their 90 days, successfully get placed into an apartment and have that money to be able to do that. And so this is part of the Ascend program that already exists, and that they've been successfully placing people, and we're hoping that this piece that is being created as a result of our donation will help them to get more people successfully placed.
If I might add, Steve, a couple of the key points are, this is only for $35,000. They're saying that that's all that they could sort of appropriately manage in the first year. So our commitment for the first year is $35,000. And as I tried to indicate earlier, if the quarterly reports don't match up with what we like, or we think they're not doing it correctly, which I think is almost impossible to believe, given the history that Amy
year to hopefully see success through this pilot program.
All right, we have more questions, Mary?
Actually, I just have a comment. I've been involved with iHelp and the SAM for probably 10, whenever the program started, to place them, the unhoused, our guests, in different churches here in Chandler. And I was one of those people that really hoped that we could find somehow a way to participate in affordable housing and getting people settled, because I know that's the huge problem in this, piece going forward. And I wanted to commend you guys for finding, when I read everything on the email, I was so pleased, because I think it's such an opportunity for the next step for our community.
Thank you. We appreciate
Sandy,
that.
can I just ask you, Sandy, to clarify something? So Sandy, I think what you were saying, and it wasn't clear, so I'm gonna guess maybe it wasn't clear to someone else. Well, today, what they will be voting on is for the $70,000 commitment, but they need to know that we are offering $35 for the first year, right? And then in the second year,
Correct.
they've already agreed, and so the council and or the dream team will be responsible for finding a way if we decide not to. I think that's the question is, if we decide not to give them the second $35,000 the second year, then what? Because you're kind of banking on it being that we will. I'm a little confused about what
I
you're
do.
asking permission for today.
Yeah, I do think that today we're asking for the $70,000 because we believe in the power of this program and we believe in the success rate of this program. We have no reason to believe that it will not achieve the goals that we've set forth, that it will not achieve the goals that the congregation asked for. If that becomes a problem, if something arises, then we have pieces in place to address those moving forward. But we are completely confident in this pilot program, and we're asking today for that full $70,000 so we can make it be as successful as possible moving forward.
I'm almost done.
Wait.
Oh, sorry.
Lawyer had a question.
Well, actually, partially answered it. I guess the question is, if you get to the end of the year and you say, it's just not working out, if you're not, any other split fund, you have to back the congregation, say, instead of doing this, you have to do that, you have to ask the congregation again. It's not a split
It
fund.
would be changing the financial aspect of it.
Are there any other churches involved in this?
Any other churches involved?
So we would be the first.
We are the first, which is why it's technically a pilot. We're hoping to be so successful that everybody wants to jump on board with
One
us.
word I like to hear was perpetual. So if that means we are really on board with this, we like it, after 2 years, can we say, hey, here's another 35 grand?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm done.
So everybody's talking about reports. Okay, so my question is about reports. So as we go forward and stuff like that, you call about quarterly reports. Who, number one, who is going to review those reports here in the church? And then how is the congregation going to be made aware of what those reports findings come to be? That is the kind of thing where we don't have to wait till the end of the year and say, okay, yeah, for the past 4 quarters, you guys did an outstanding job, yeah, everything worked great. We had all these people graduated from these different modules, and it was a wonderful program. Or, horrible story, the other things. And I think the congregation needs to know that basically, as these reports come available, how is the congregation going to know where to stand? Or is it just going to basically report sent to the council? The council looks at it and says, calls in the dream team and says, okay, yeah, this is good.
Quarterly reports, and the council will get updates.
Right.
I think if there's anything, council likes to report stuff like this, especially if it's a success. And then if things are going not so well, I'm sure we'll be making adjustments and let you guys know. I mean, this is something that's really new and important. We don't have any experience on something.
So what I'm trying to say is, so how is the congregation going to know? Is it basically come out in a newsletter saying, yeah, this is the quarterly report that came out?
We have emails, we have.
Yeah, that's what I'm
screens.
asking.
I mean,
For
really excited about this, so we're gonna let you know as often as we can.
Judy?
I'm incredibly impressed with the work that this group has done. I'm particularly impressed with the fact that the participants in the group have a stake in that. And I think that the sustainability of getting people into their homes and being able to stay there is a key part of it. And I move that we call the motion.
Any other questions? We got some more questions. We got a question.
If you have a move and a second, I'd like to.
Then we can still do questions.
I understand, but I'd like to respectfully move that in the spirit of the committee that was unanimous, and the spirit of the council that was also unanimous, that we cast a white ballot for this issue. For those who don't know, that means that this is a unanimous vote that we go forward.
I didn't get the second motion.
Jeff, are you asking if that has to be unanimous?
I'll second.
If he wants it to be unanimous.
Point of order, there was a different motion. All right, so Judy's
You
motion,
make, I can make this motion on top of that motion after it's made, and that's why I did so.
there has to be an amendment to the first motion. Was there a second to Judy's motion?
Okay.
I second.
All right, so Judy's motion was made to approve this. And. It's been moved and seconded to approve this. Now, Jeff is making us an amended motion. Correct?
Well, in my review of Robert's rules, I don't think that has to be an amendment. It's a motion on its own merits. And if there's a second to it, then we go forward.
That it has to be unanimous.
That it be unanimous.
I second.
All right. Now, do we want it a written ballot or a hand ballot? Right. Can I make?
So, before you.
Thurman had a
Yeah, I had
question
my
before
hand
all
up
this
on
happened.
this discussion. Anyway, I have, in my mind, listening, it sounds good, well, what you discussed. My thing is individuality in regards to those individuals that are not here, those individuals that may hear about all of this, they may have a question or a concern. I know it was passed, that it was passed. But my thinking is, if I walk out of here or talk to someone and say, oh, you guys did that? But I was wondering about how would we as individuals be able to stay updated? I know you talked about the importance of the board, sharing that information. But individuals today like to have the visuality of what's going on with something they are funding. That was just my question. That came to me by
So
Saturday.
that could be part of the, another amendment to the motion.
So I can address that actually. There is a component of this where individuals can participate as volunteers with the program and become involved if they want to see it firsthand. If they want to be, be on that grassroots level and involved with it, they can. What we were very careful to avoid because of the legal ramifications and the administrative costs was having us tied to that. It can be a choice of any member of the congregation who wants to participate, and Ascend is of course very open to that.
But I think we need to be clear that you would not, if you want to volunteer at Ascend, you can't go there and say, I want to volunteer for this pilot program. It won't work that way. It'll be part of their overall iHelp program. And so it may be that you would go with them to a church or whatever. So I just want to make sure that we're clear that you wouldn't be going there to help them choose somebody for the, you would be doing the normal volunteer stuff, like Mary can talk about all the stuff that they do on a monthly basis, 2 times a month for these folks. So you could go and volunteer with Ascend and do lots of different things, and if you wanted to volunteer as part of, our church, then the best thing to do is to talk to folks like Mary that are already involved and do a lot for Ascend as it is, as far as the people coming here, we feed them, we et cetera.
Correct. We're trusting Ascend to administrate this program.
Yes.
So we believe in their ability to do so, and we have to kind of let them have their.
Jody had a comment?
Yeah, I just wanted to comment that when council met, all the Dream Team members came to us and talked to us about it, and two of the things that they talked about that I don't know that is clear is one is they're just choosing the people that they think will be the most successful for this program. They're not gonna give it the opportunity to everybody, they are handpicking people based on their experience. And the second thing, I'm trying to remember what I was gonna say, is that they don't, like this $500, they don't just go, here, have $500, and the person leaves that day and whatever, goes buys whatever they want that day. They hold money for them. They hold the deposit money for them, at least part of, monies that they get so that, because they're still learning financial responsibility. So it's not like you were just giving them cash like the first day or the first week or whatever. It's like a savings account, right? And Ascend, that's part of Ascend's whole process. So for those of you that don't understand that it's a little bit more secure. And they are already successful with these people. They only want to focus on success. And that's what our program is designed to focus on those people that are supposed to be the most successful and trying to make them successful once they get into housing, that they can stay there, much like what Amy's program is doing. So,
I think Jeff made a motion, amendment, and I think we need to have a second amendment, or a second. And I vote
There was a
second for further discussion.
So I have one other comment, if I might, Madam Chair, and that is that I can't imagine, we don't have a newsletter, but I can't imagine if there was some further issue regarding this, that this wouldn't be reported in what we have as a weekly communication. I can imagine that would happen. Now, having said all that, given all the comments that you've heard, I think the chances of this going south is less than 1%.
If someone wants to call for the question, we can.
I call for the question.
All right, thank you, Barb. We can do a vote by raising your hand. All those in favor?
Okay, are we voting on the amendment or the resolution?
We have to vote on the amendment first, and then so the amendment, then it has to be a unanimous vote.
Okay.
All right, I guess. All right, it doesn't look like that passed. So now, to vote on accepting this program. All those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? All right, it passes. Thank you. All right, thank you all for coming today. Thank you for this wonderful program that we'll be doing, and we'll be reporting. A lot of council and maybe future council people are here.
If I may
Jeff.
make one further comment.
Okay.
The reason Sandy is not here today is because they are in Minnesota regarding Kevin's mother. Please hold them in your prayers.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Jeff. All right, thank you.